I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33, looking like an alien today with this lighting behind me. And a lot of the times in this world, in this matrix, I feel like an alien. And it's no mystery, I've made many videos about the loneliness one feels when they start to wake up and just diverge in their consciousness away from that of society, from the cult of society. And they wake up to a more expansive view of life, of themselves. And there is an undeniable loneliness that comes with that. But on the other hand, as we wake up to this new state of being, this new state of seeing, we're also establishing new connections within ourselves, but also outside. There's this quantum entanglement. And as we start to untangle from the fabric of convention, the fabric of the matrix, we start to create new connections with other souls that may not necessarily be in our physical plane of being at the time, but simply by connecting unapologetically in such a profound, visceral way with this new value that we're feeling in ourselves, we are making those connections again on this quantum level. And eventually what we make on the quantum field, it starts to show up. It manifests for us when there is congruence, when there's that congruence on a thought level and on an emotional level as well. When we really feel connected in this energy, then we attract the like threads to us that want to make a beautiful tapestry with us, that see us as part of this beautiful tapestry, and we see the same. And I've found a valuable lesson. This is one of the things that so many manifestation teachers get right, is when we get into this new state where our values start to go in a different direction than the old identity we've been in, our old physical reality. It's very important to not emotionally identify sometimes with this current thing around us that's an old paradigm, and not let that paradigm bring us down, bring us into a lower emotional state, but instead be like a child. Be able to use your imagination and connect with these new ideas, these new pathways of consciousness that are waking up in you, and use that imagination and visualize a new type of physical future. And having time to get excited in that. I remember when I was a kid, I just used to play fantasy stories in my head all the time and go outside and play, pretend to be certain character, pretend to be a superhero, pretend to be an interstellar explorer. And that's something kids naturally do, especially those who are high on that creative spectrum. But the matrix beats it out of you. But when you wake up, you're starting to wake up to these faculties again. And manifestation, again, this is simply just like playing like a kid does. But now you have all these new skills of a lifetime that you've accomplished, and experiences, some good, some bad, and we can focus again on these good experiences and these useful skills, and we can use all that in positive action, affirmative action, to create with our dreams and our desires. The Arnold Schwarzenegger book, Total Recall, My Unbelievable True Life Story, he's a big practitioner of that. When he was wanting to realize his dream of transitioning into acting, becoming a leading man in Hollywood, nobody wanted somebody who was a jacked bodybuilder in that kind of role. People saw a bodybuilder as simply being a sideshow, but not something that would be leading man material, not something that would connect in a leading role. And one of Arnold's mentors was the great Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy. And a piece of advice she gave him that he tells in a story is, when they say no, you hear yes. When they say no, you hear yes. And that's one of the foundational principles of manifestation that Arnold successfully put into practice, and successful entertainers have to put into practice, because that world is very competitive and you get lots of rejection. And if you start to identify with the rejection and the loneliness, you start to feel you're not good, you're not worthy. So when it comes to awakening, again, kind of in this other expression of consciousness, when the world wants to dismiss you, wants to laugh at you, wants to push you down, or if they're just going in their way and you're letting them be, you just have to hear in your own mind that yes, that affirmative yes for your path, where you're going. Affirmative yes that the support, the relationships, the connection, the community is there for you and is on the way for you. And you're seeing that, you're feeling that in the present, being grateful for it, and connecting with that feeling right now, even though it may not have manifested yet. All people who bring great things in the world are very good at this. Even I remember I was like, when I was a teenager and I dreamed of playing on stage in a theatrical heavy metal band. I drew a picture of me and I drew a picture of my band. And though I never went to the arenas, I still have one of these pictures. And I was like, wow, this is something I drew when I was like 13 years old. That was actually, I'd forgotten about it, but I saw a video of me performing the other night, and it's an old video. So, wow, this band that I ended up playing with, it looks a lot like this picture I drew when I was 13 years old. So I realized that dream to a certain level. With that being said, though, I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well, and most importantly, I want to remind you, when you get into this new state of awareness, you're transforming what's around you. This state of being that you are is having an effect on everything that's around you, even though the darkness of the matrix, the darkness of this co-opted, corrupted structure that is the fabric of conventional society may seem very powerful and overbearing. When you go out with that potency and strength in your mind and your heart, and you are congruent in your thoughts, your actions, indeed, there is a ripple effect with that, and you are making a difference. So never forget that. Be well, and I'll see you on the other side.